Hey everybody, Outskit D21 here. Well, as you can see, we got both of the tractors here working good. You just seen I just pulled a nice little circle with the Rat Rod. Well, it's been a long time since I've done a video on this one. Actually, it's been pretty busy with this one, and the MTD obviously has had quite a few changes since the last update video, so I figured I would do an update on them both. Alright, so maybe the first thing you'll notice right now on the Rat Rod is it no longer has the flipped front axle. It has a custom made, I don't know what you kind of actually call this, but it's a custom made axle in a 1.5 inch box steel. Got the, I guess you'd call it a beam axle or something, but it's got the two upright beams, and then this, I think it looks pretty nice. It kind of looks like an old suicide front end on an old hot rod or rat rod or something. And the tie rod's out front as opposed to being behind where it was before. It still works just as fine that way. I just had to flip the steering arms upside down and re-weld them, and it works fine. It's not, that's a snowmobile tie rod. It's, I don't know what the snowmobile was, but I got it at school. That's where I built this front axle, was at my school. Something to do for my last year there, so I just cut that tie rod off snowmobile, or cut it and took I think 2 inches out of it, and then it was perfect length. It's got pretty nice ends on it. They're not greasable or nothing, they're pretty small for that, but it's nice. Nice tie rod and nice front axle and everything works. Steering is great. I actually have, you know, proper steering geometry now, as opposed to having none with the flip front axle. So drag length is different too. It's still kind of low. This thing, everything on this thing hangs kind of low because it's, you know, it's like a street machine, hot rod, rat rod for racing around. It's not for off-roading. As much as I would like to see how it would do off-road sometimes, I'm not gonna take it off-road. So the drag length is different. If you see in the video where I had this thing playing in the snow, it was really, it had a weird shape. It was like that, and then it went down and then went up. It's because I never changed or nothing. That also was a snowmobile tie rod that I just cut and welded onto the original front piece of the drag link that I had there. Works good. Steering is geared pretty high. I wanted it that way because it's more of a racer, but so it's not, definitely not for all-terrain use because the steering is very jerky, but it's nice for just racing around. I actually cut those rebar support things for the front axle. I figured why not. And grease fittings. I have grease fittings on those spindle knuckles because it also has my pointy desk covers. I know Mighty Rays likes those, so I think they look kind of neat. But anyway, yeah, so they're greasable, the spindle bearings, or the spindle knuckles are, so I figured that cut down on wear a little bit. Nothing, well, maybe I'll just put it off here. That's coming. Made for doing it with one hand. Nothing's changed in terms of looks, except for that spider web. That wasn't intentional. Either way, blower shroud is still blue. I love the look of the blue. I think it looks great. So got the painted red, I don't know if you can see it in there, the painted red spark plug wire. I figured that was good for a few horsepower, so you know, air cleaner still the same. Got that, I don't know, a little filter there. So exhaust is the same, that 1.5 inch I think it is. Maybe a little big, but for an 11 horse, but it doesn't do. It's just fine. It's got a real low, nice sound to it. See the resonator? Just kind of dumps out right there. Not too bad. I wouldn't mind having a tip to come out here or something, but we'll see if that ever comes to fruition someday. They're kind of dusty now, but the rims and tires have been repainted. I should have washed it before the video, whatever. They all been repainted there. It's a little bit of a darker red than I had before. Looks nice though. This other one I still have to repaint the white the sidewall because I could not get the bead to seat on this one at all. There was no tube in it. I put a tube in the other one, and I didn't feel like putting the tube in this one because the bead was so rusted onto the rim, but I couldn't, all the bead sealer in the world wouldn't have got that thing to seat on the rim, so That's what all that black is all the... I did end up putting a tube in it, so whatever, I guess. It works just fine, so it hasn't gone down. It used to go down every 5 minutes, which was not exactly the most fun thing ever, so. Brakes are still the same, got the push down and pray for the best wrench handle there. The linkage, it does hang kind of low, but it works. It stops it pretty good. A couple funny little decorative items, I guess. Oh, the lettering's kind of wore off on there. That is a Kohler K321 piston. You can see it's all busted out. I don't know what happened, but it was in an old 14 horse K321 and it blew, the skirt completely blew apart. And so I wrote piston broke on it. Piston broke. I'll give you a moment to get that joke. Yep. But anyway, so yeah, a couple of little tiny decorative items in the back. I guess I had the jumper cables in the hood before, if you remember, but I just stuck them there. I kind of want to get a jumper clamp that's black, just because it'd be funny to make it look like I got a boost from somebody and I drove away with it still hooked to the chassis and it ripped apart. But that'd be kind of funny look, but it looks cool either way, I guess. So, little reflector, just put that on there for whatever. Poker chip, crank gear. I don't know. I want to get two of them. I couldn't find another one, but I think that looks kind of neat. A little crank gear for little tiny little brakes or something. Those there, just in case I need a haircut. You never know. Still got the push button start thing there. Works good. And the ignition switch is just the toggle switch with the big on and off thing on there. Hard to miss that. Still got that little fuel tank. It's not too bad because this thing does not drink the fuel that fast. So I can drive around for quite a while on that tank of fuel. I'm not sure how full it is now, but it didn't die on me just now, so I guess we're still fairly full. Still got that little catch can. It doesn't really seem to have any oil suck into there, which is alright, but when it definitely lets the crankcase pressure out of there very well. You can put your hand over it about this high and you can feel it coming out of there, so just in case it ever decides to start letting oil pass the PCV read and everything, we'll have that there. So I guess I got a little gear thing, a little cog and a sprocket on there, just for fun. I don't know, looks nice, I guess. It's a rat rod. You gotta have tons of little pointless decorative fancy items on there for looks. Maybe I'll put the hood back on here. Okay, so I got a little hole down at the front too, little wing nut on there. That one just kind of holds it. I don't actually have a nut on there or nothing. I could, but I don't think it'll ever fall off with that wing nut on there. So I don't know what that is, that little thing, but I think it looks kind of cool, so I have it on there. Got my mirror off a scooter, some little two-stroke scooter thing. The only thing is it's kind of low, so I can't really see that behind me. I can't see behind me that well, but if I lean a little bit, I can see. It's mostly for decoration anyway. I mean, I'm not going to take this thing on the highway yet. Got that old C-clamp. It's got some weird end on it. It's kind of cool. It looks like the thing that's in the center of the license plates. That's why I stuck it on there. It looks kind of cool. And this has not worked yet. Not even close. So yeah, I guess that's the rat rod. Now on to this little monster here. The MTD, the mobile terrain dominator. As you can see, I got it showing off here on a cinder block. It's actually off the ground a little bit. You can see this tire is, I can put it down. It'll stay on the ground. It's just that there's no weight on the back of it, so it doesn't want to stay down. Yeah, see, it just goes back up. I'll put it back on the ground here for a sec. There, that's better. I just had that on. I like to show off. Anyway, well, let's start from the beginning. I guess the biggest thing you might notice, I actually don't know what the biggest thing you notice is, but they got new tires on. Obviously you've seen this in my romp videos, but I'm just gonna pretend that you haven't seen it since the last update video, so bear with me here. Those are my new tires on the rear. They're Duro. I think they're just called sand and mud tires. I don't have a special name or nothing, but they're 22 inches tall. I think they're supposed to be 11 inches wide and 8-inch rim diameter. They look maybe a little taller than 22 inches to me. I don't know. I'm running about 5 psi. Have them kind of, there's a horn in there. Have them kind of low. just cause make them kind of soft, and don't want it sitting higher in the rear than in the front or nothing. So I've done a lot of frame bracing here. Try it anyway. Angle iron running all the way there, running all along in the side and up the back. You know, this thing has a cookie sheet for a frame, so you gotta try and prevent it from flexing too much and snapping something off. I guess there's nothing really new with that rack. I got a couple of, I don't know, those are not much use. They're tiny, but they look kind of cool, so I cut them hanging there. You never know. My draw pin, I use that. My homemade draw pin, you remember that from the update video, made out of a spindle. I also, in my update video, I said that those were 1/2 inch. I was wrong, those are 5/8. Nobody has 1/2 inch spindles. Nobody. Suspension is obviously quite different from that last update video as well. It's, well, real suspension, frankly. I was pretty proud of the setup I had with those little seat springs, but it's not that great. So I got just nice coils here. And I have a 3-link setup, essentially is what it is. I got big links on the outside that go underneath, and that center link is still the same. The center link and 3 outer links. It's a centered 3-link. On most 4-wheel drive trucks, the center link is not centered because the differential housing is offset. But obviously, since this thing doesn't have a differential housing in the front because it's just a lawnmower, the center link is centered in the axle. So, but it's essentially a 3-link setup. Got the coils. I got coil retainers as well. I don't know if you can see in that coil there, but there's a little tab, and it just bolts to the axle, because when I would flex it too much, the coil would fall out of the opposite side, because they would just fall out of the buckets, right? So, and there's just a little hook on the top there. They're loose. They're loose now, but once the coil starts to want to fall out, it tightens up and it pulls on that hook and it doesn't go anywhere. It works pretty good. If I flex it too much, it'll pick the other tire up by the spring. So it works really, really good, actually. So that's good. Bumpers, the same. I still haven't painted it. I'm gonna have to paint this whole thing sometime soon here in the warm weather. Get that done, I guess. Suspension, you can see. Throwing away on me here, but it's quite bouncy. I like it that way. I'm telling you. Yep. I decided not to go with the pin-hard rod. It's because I like being different, I guess. I did an axle locator, which essentially just those. You can see those 2 vertical rods. They are they're welded to the little plate where the axle used to bolt to. They're welded to that, which is bolted to the frame. And then there's just a little bolt. And there's a nut on there that's welded to the axle. So, see, that's got a little bit of side-to-side movement. That way the axle can't walk. Works just the same as a pan-hard would, but it just doesn't take up as much room. So, and under the hood, again, the engine isn't really any different. I got the different fuel tank in there. The reason for that, of course, because of the new steering box you guys seen in the video I had where I took it apart on my workbench there. I got it in there and it works really, really good. It's kind of hard to see my fuel lines. It's kind of hard to see it with the fuel tank there. You see the U-joint up in there. Drag light comes down, hooks to my steering arm right there. It's really nice. It's got a real nice ratio. It's a very, very low ratio. That's the way I wanted it. So it's nice. The opposite of the Rat Rod. That has a really high steering ratio, and this one has a really low one. So yep. Oh, this is definitely different from the last update video. I can't believe I forgot about this. Peerless 600 transaxle. Yes, sir. No longer has the variable speed. It no longer has the FNR forward neutral reverse transaxle. You can see it in there, looking nice and beefy. Same transaxle that's in the Rat Rod, actually. I think this is actually a 601, which is a Peerless 600 slow speed. But the only difference in terms of speed, I think, is the pulley size. This one, when I bought it, had a huge pulley on it. On the transaxle, it was like gigantic. So that's probably why it was such a slow transaxle. It would have been nice for certain applications, but I obviously have the original transaxle pulley. I just had to make an adapter because the MTD FNR input shaft was splined, and this one is keyed like everybody else. So Oh, this here doesn't really do much right now. It's going to be my brake handle soon enough, I hope. I haven't hooked it up yet, but you can see it's just kind of welded to a bolt, or there's a bolt welded to the dash tower, and that's got a double nut on it. And it's just the handle which goes up there, spring loaded. It's just going to have a cable or something that hooks to this and run down to the footboard and hook on to the caliper, which is down there. That's the simplest part of this, and I haven't done it yet. I fabbed up the handle and everything, but I haven't made the cable to attach it to. Oh well. Got a cross member under there. Nothing special, just to help with the flex. It's got a double pulley clutch on it. I kind of want to finesse that a little bit more. I got like a big V-belt pulley and a kind of small flat idler. It still works pretty good, but I kind of want to even them out a little bit. Maybe it'll clutch a little better. Sometimes it still wants to grab, so still got the heavy duty drawbar on there for pulling a trailer or what have you. But yeah, I don't know if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think so. Those are the buckets and everything. You can see over the coils, all that welded up on there. So, yep, I think that's it for that one anyway. So yeah, that's the update on my two disasters here. The Rat Rod Toro and the mobile terrain dominator. A lot of fun, both of these tractors. Nice thing about having two tractors again is if you're working on one and it's starting to frustrate you, you can just hop on the other one, go for a spin. As to where the Rat Rod, when the Rat Rod was at school, I would work on this one and get frustrated and I'd have nothing to drive around on. So I just had to keep working on it. But now I got one for speed and pulling circles around stuff, and one for crawling. So yep, give you a little walk around here, I guess, before the end of the video. Oh, also I rigged up a foot throttle stop on that one. And Max is out because one of my friends hopped on this thing at school, and the pedal, it doesn't need full throw, that's as far as it goes. The pedal actually will go farther, it'll go all the way to the footboard. And he hopped on and pushed it down all the way and broke my little throttle cable holder, so no big deal. I wasn't mad, it was my own fault. I didn't have a throttle stop, but it works good so far. Anyway, still very dusty. Those are quite bright at night, those are. Homemade keychain there, gotta advertise. So hopefully we'll get, I don't really have much else I want to do to the Rat Rod. It's pretty much completed and just ready for screwing around. Might think of some upgrades might be some upgrades I can think of sometime in the future, but for now I guess she's just gonna stay as she is. This one here, obviously, paint is gonna be hopefully the next thing. I just want to hope to keep improving on it, really. Just making it as heavy duty as it possibly can be and as capable as I want it to be. It's done very good so far, as you can see, crawling and going through muck and mud and everything. Me and Carter have a lot of fun. So that's what it's all about, I guess, right? So yep, both very, very fun machines, that's for sure. I'm pretty proud of both of these tractors. So. Well, anyway, we're going on 20 minutes here, so I guess. So, well, thought I'd just do a little update on the tractors. You guys haven't seen these updated for a while, so I'll go ahead and do that. Well, alright, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.